right. I think I got it going here. What's going on, guys? As you saw in the title, this is going to be my final thoughts on this space here, right here. Trying to get this set up here, this live thing. Well, looks like Sam's watching, I think. My boy. Let me get this rolling here. So, I'm trying to see if I can monitor on that computer. There we go. Good. Okay, so if anyone has been following my vlogs, you'll know the story. You're kind of somewhat the story on this base here. Let's see. Hopefully this is coming through okay. You can see everything. Sam, does everything look good on your end? Let me know. So anyway, back to this. I was going to do a nice big demo video of this base, and I kind of thought why not do a live video instead. It'll save me some editing time, and then you'll get my actual just unedited thrown out opinion on this thing. Looks like Sam's coming. Sorry, the screen is way far away from me. I'm trying to read it from there. I guess I can't see the comments on this one, so I'll just close this off here. But thanks, Sam. I'm glad everything looks good. But back to this again. So I was at a gig early in the summer, and my lull right here took a nosedive, and nut got busted pretty bad, and a bunch of chunks from the bottom of the neck got broken off. So I didn't really have a backup bass at that point, so I got on the horn and I got this one of these coming. And I had it all set. I had an unboxing video. I recorded stuff, and I was going to have a kind of a video about that. When I had some issues with it right away, and I was like, there's just not something right with this bass. And for the long story short, it wasn't intonated. It wasn't set up right. It was missing things in the case. And when I went to go set it up, just a couple turns in the truss rod and it snapped, completely busted. So that was a real bummer. Got on the horn with Fender. My rep took great care of me, and I got a new one coming right away. They took the no questions asked. They took the old one back. I told them what happened, and this is the second bass. And so when I got this one, it was set up perfectly, intonated. It was all good. I was able to adjust the truss rod just fine. So I'm kind of thinking that first one was a lemon, or maybe a return that fell through the cracks or something. But anyway, so I didn't think it would be a good idea to do a video about that, with videos and recordings from that first bass, and then go through the whole spiel at second one. So thought I'd go through just a quick video on the new bass. And hey man, you like this one better? I'm getting some comments here. So this is my final thoughts on this bass. I've had it for most of the summer while the lull was getting fixed, and I thought I'd do a final video with what I think of it. So first off, I've got it plugged in to my Fractal FX8 pedal. I have no patches on it, just other compression going into the Aguilar. Aguilar is flat, and then which leads me to the first thing, setting the gain on this thing. Is this bass is a super hot bass. It's 18 volt. I think I never changed the batteries. I'm pretty sure it is. 18 volt preamp. These pickups are just they rock. They're screaming. They're way hotter than the Seymour Duncans on the Mike Wall. So whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. I guess. But anyway, the gain is just, I had to crank the gain back down, but it sounds glorious. That's the first thing I noticed on this bass. It just hands down sounds amazing. So I guess that was the first thing. Second thing I noticed, this neck, and this neck is a little bit different than some Fender jazz basses before that I've played. So I think this year they changed this profile. So it's and I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I'm going to be wrong and I don't remember, but it's basically one shape here, and as it comes up here, it modifies to a different shape, so it's compounded differently up here, and I think it's flatter up here from the way I'm playing it and the way it feels. It feels flatter up here than it does down here, and that's either good. All right, we're trying this. I just realized that I had my Wi-Fi turned off on the phone, so we'll see how much data I used on that one when I get my cell phone bill. So we're good. All right, I can kind of see you guys commenting from here. I'm gonna bear with me while I squint to read the comments there. So anyway, I don't know where it cut off, but I was talking about the neck radius changes. It goes a little bit flatter up here than down here, and my opinion on that is I don't like it. And I've had a couple other player friends of mine, my buddy Drew from Copperbox Band, played it. He didn't like it either. It's the first thing he said he didn't like. Sound-wise, it's great. We both agreed on that. But for some reason, just that feeling, just, to be honest, halfway through the summer, I started getting used to it, and it didn't bug me as bad, but I still missed the way that lull felt, and this, you just can't, I couldn't get over it. And I've always been, to be honest, I've always been like that with Fenders. They never really played very well to me. That's just my opinion on that. I know some guys absolutely love it, but they've always kind of had this weird, I don't know, just they didn't sit well in my hands the way it felt. But needless to say, this bass is wicked. So those are 2 points there. Couple other features on this bass before I start getting the more opinions on it. This bridge is just is awesome to work with. Setting it up was just wonderful. Sometimes you get those saddles that when you're adjusting them, they just don't want to move. This thing just butter is adjusting anything on here. Let's see what else. So simple EQ on here, bass mid treble. It's got a passive active switch. If you want to hear what that sounds like, it's somewhat noticeable. I don't know if you can hear it through it. That's on. This is passive. The tone. There's a tone on the passive side. Active back on. To me, it sounds much better with it turned on, but I guess still sounds good either way. Blend control, front back pickup. One thing that's really awesome about this bass that I can say is hands above better than the lull is these noiseless pickups. And when you go to either isolate the front or the back pickup, now you might hear a buzz on here, but that's just because my house grounding sucks. But these are, trust me, it's dead quiet. If I did this with a lull, you'd definitely be hearing it. That front pickup. So it's cool, that back pickup here. Oh, let me go back to the active mode. It growled, man. This thing sounds great. What did you say there? How'd you blend the pickups? I blended them differently based on the songs. There's maybe a few songs where the recording had a P bass, so I would roll out the front. Kind of specifically some of the stuff like I do a Bruno Mars thing with Treasure, I think that's what's called, and then some old school funk stuff with Hip Pocket, like Brick House, or I can't remember some of the other ones where I just really wanted to make it a fat tone. I wanted the front back pickup. I didn't use much, kind of only when I was doing maybe like the muted or 16th note kind of Jocko-esque stuff. Hip Pocket does a version of or we do like kind of more of a Tower Power version of Mustang Sally, and I kind of did that a couple times with the backpack. So that's you. Otherwise, usually it's right in the middle. That's always the best tone. In my opinion, I use that most of the time. But I'll move it every once in a while. So other than that, so to give you the other thing, where this right here, this truss rod adjustment, is another glorious thing, which I think every bass guitar should have, is this wheel right here. So much easier to use than trying to dig in here, or if you've got those vintage ones with the where they got this stupid screw or nut that's under here underneath the pick guard, you gotta take off the damn neck, which is there's way better ways to do it, and this is obviously one of those. So I don't know why we still make necks like that, or and Lull is kind of like that, but they at least routed it big enough where I can get my wrench in there to turn it, so it's not too much of a hassle. So those are some things I liked, some things I didn't like about it. Let's go over some other things as well. The weight on this sucks. And maybe I'm being picky, but as much as I play, and I'm not a spring chicken anymore. This is taking a toll on my back, and that's one of the other factors why I'm not going to be using this bass hardly. It just kills my back. I don't know the exact specs on how much it weighs, but compared to that, Lull, which is like 8 pounds, I think. It's man, I got to go with that. Even though this sounds better, that's a big thing. I did notice that if you don't, as far as weight as well, as long as we're on that subject, it doesn't balance very well. It's a little front heavy. Like if I take a strap off here, it just wants to fall that way. But when I'm standing up, I don't notice that. It feels okay. But that's the other thing I did notice. The other thing is these tuners in the back are also pretty badass. It tunes great. It's just like the bridge, adjusting it's like butter. So this bass does have it going on in so many ways, but the few things that I don't like about it are kind of big for me. So that's why if you're watching my vlogs, so if you haven't, watch them. They're fun. That's why I've been playing that Lull now. It's and just for fun, let's compare tones. You can hear what it sounds like. So this is my just basic tone. You make sure everything's flat, and you can hear let's compare them. So here's like another groove on the. Okay, let's check out what the Lull's got going on. You guys still see me okay? Everything look good? Okay. This thing just feels so much better. Now, you're going to notice a huge difference in gain. Get this flat now. It's a lot quieter. So bring this gain up a little bit. So first thing I noticed, let's see what you guys got there. Yeah, okay. Cool. Thanks, man. So let's kind of play that similar groove. You can compare to the last one if you remember what it sounded like. So, if you want to, if you going between tones, I don't know if you could tell here through the amp, the Fender is way more fatter, but much fatter. Whereas the Lull tends to be a little more snappy, I guess, brighter, maybe a little brittle too. That's kind of why I think the Fender sounds a little better. This has a little bit of a honk to it, whereas the Fender is kind of really even, and the fundamentals of the bass guitar itself sound great. Whereas this lull kind of brighter and snappy. So when I'm playing the lull at gigs, I put on an EQ, which cuts out some of those frequencies. Kind of balances that out a little bit. So unfortunately, that's one of the drawbacks, which I wish this sounded more like that Fender, but this thing is so light, and this neck, if you haven't played one of these, man, just play it. This neck is ridiculous. And so, by the way, I thought I muted that. Mike Lull did a great job. They put a new nut on, and this was all splintered and just broken all over the place. I don't know what they did, but they sanded it and coated it, and it feels just like normal. It's great. They do great work. So they got a nice repair shop too. They don't just build basses and guitars. They repair vintage guitars and any guitars and basses. So check them out. Tonewood. I think you're asking about the Tonewoods. This is I believe was it ash? No, alder. God, I'm catching off guard on this. I don't remember, but it's the one of the it's the lighter. I want to say it's swamp ash, I think. But it's extremely lightweight, and they use the Hipshot ultra lightweight bridge, Hipshot ultra lightweight tuners, which is one of the ways they get their weight down. I was lagging. We're back. Plug back in. So comparing to that lull there, I think, maybe some of the reasons that body wood and compared to this, maybe that's one of the reasons why it sounds much better. I don't know, but I'll take that anyway. I can put an EQ on that bass and I can get it sounding close like this, but that still sounds really good. It's much louder than that, so I'll bring the gain back down a little bit. So anyway, yeah, so my final thoughts are it's good and it's bad, but it all comes down to personal preference, and that's not to say that my opinion, the negative opinions on this should be everyone's negative opinion, because until you play this thing, you don't know if that neck is something you'll like or not. For me, I can still play it. It functions great. It just feels weird the way that changes up here. But it sounds glorious. And then the only other drawback is that weight, which is why I just can't use it that much. But sounds. If I sound like I'm at the NAMM show. And you guys ever been in the NAMM show, you know that's what you hear in every corner. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this. This is my first live video, so I kind of been rambling. Didn't really have a set structure of how I wanted to go about it, but just thought I'd give you my final thoughts on this. I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna make a nice kind of edited video, but I thought let's just do this off the cuff. So yeah, I'm gonna be sticking with the lull, I think. But if you want to check these out, check it out, because it definitely sounds one of the best sounding basses I think I've ever had, and I've had a ton of them. Some custom basses. They've all been super high end stuff, and this one I think takes the cake so far. So really encourage you to check it out. Just give it a whirl, see what you think. Some of the other things I think are really bad, by the way, before I end this video, like these inlays are just wicked. Like I don't know if you can't tell, but these ebony it just looks black from far away, but when you get close, you can actually see like the perlite in there, and then the ebony strip on the, I don't know, I think it's just painted, but it still just looks cool. So yeah, anyway. Oh, also, it's got this bitchin' TSA hard case, and that case is awesome. I mean, the case I got with the wall was a nice, like, kind of tweed. I got my head cut off, but I had to throw in a gig bag because the case just kept getting beat up, and I like my cases looking nice, and that Fender case is just it's designed to get thrown around. It's awesome. So anyway, thanks for checking this out. I had a comment. I was gonna. How do I get back to comments here? I was gonna reply to that one. Oh, Alan, awesome jazz and great live. Jazz sounds great. Yeah, it does sound great. It's a tough dilemma. Do I go with sound or do I go with keeping my back alive at the end of the gigs? And maybe some gigs I'll pull this out, some of the shorter, kind of more festival things maybe. But yeah, it is a pretty wicked sounding bass. But anyway, there you are, guys. That's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Yeah, keep commenting. I don't know if I post this live, if you can keep commenting on there after the fact or not, but I'll try and respond to the ones I can. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. I do weekly vlogs. Alan, you're one of my followers on that. You can attest. These vlogs are a lot of fun. I got one I'm gonna start editing tonight. Last weekend we did a nice a little wedding, and where else was I? Oh, I played in Appleton. I kind of keep forgetting these; they just fly by. Next weekend I've got a really cool event, Beefarama up in Minocqua. They do a big beef festival every year, and we headline that, and that's going to be a blast. Hopefully the weather holds out. It's been getting pretty cold up here, way up north. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Here it is. Check them out if you can. It's definitely worth a go. So see you next time. See you guys. Thanks for watching. How do I stop it?